Hello and welcome to the FIBA chat party here for this Olympic Games between Canada and Australia here in women's basketball action. Hello, I'm Paulo De Rosario coming at you from the Philippines, talking to you about the action happening over in Paris. Thank you very much for joining us on this particular channel. Just a reminder, you cannot watch the game live here. We do not have the rights to stream the actual game, but for those who want to go and watch it, we have a link down below to see, so you can find out where you can watch the games live and your particular location, wherever you are around the world. So we hope that you can check those out. Then keep this on, and we'll try and give you a bit more insight, give you a bit of a different soundtrack to the game that you probably won't have in that particular coverage that you're going to see. Of course, we have a chat here happening over on the side. Make sure you go check that out and are part of it. Of course, we'll read out some of the comments that are going to come out as well. Thank you very much again for joining us here on the FIBA, the basketball channel here over on YouTube. Now, wherever you are around the world, let your voices be heard, and let's see what type of conversations we could end up with here today. We now have an early poll going up. Who you got, Australia or Canada? Let us know what you guys think. It'll be interesting to see because these two teams need a victory here today after losing their respective opening matchups here in the Olympics. Australia and Canada desperately needing the win. A loss here because even on the brink of not even making it to the next stage. So they're going to be hoping that things work out. Australia are coming into this one as the prohibitive favorites. They have the history. 4-time medalists in the Olympics, talking about Australia. So they're going to be hoping that they're going to bring in that type of pedigree into this one. Canada trying to cause a bit of an upset here. Not a lot between these two if you really think about it. But here's what's required here for these two teams as we get going here in Paris. For Canada, they will be eliminated from contention if they lose to Australia and Nigeria beats France. It's going to be a tough task. And for Australia, they will be eliminated from contention if Canada beat Australia and France beats Nigeria. So that's the permutation according to the FIBA website. They're going to be hoping things will turn out okay for each of them. Early action here between these two, Canada and Australia, but so far, no points just up just yet. And you have to be wondering here, who are the people to watch out for in this particular contest? Of course, these two teams coming in from a bit of a disappointing result in their first games. In particular, the turnover count is something that we're going to have to watch out for, because the turnover count was probably one of the biggest numbers here in their respective losses. Nigeria and France caused Australia and Canada to really crack in their first games. Australia, the Opals, actually turned the ball over 26 times in their shock loss against Nigeria, while Canada spilled the ball around 25 times against host nation France. So let's see if they will correct things here. But in terms of the turnover count and tally, as Bridget Carleton gets the first bucket to go here in this game, a three-pointer for the Canadians. After that, you take a look at the turnover counts here. The very first possession of Australia actually resulted in a turnover after a foul was drawn by Natalie Achonwa. And 5-0 run here for Canada to start things off. Shea Colley getting in on the action. A driving two-point lay-in. Straight up miss of Jade Melbourne. Good start here for the Canadians, but it's going to be easier said than done later on. There's a lot of expectations on this Australian team. Again, coming out short last time around. What they would say is a shock result last time around. As we take a look at those particular games, they lost to Nigeria 75-62, while the Canadians lost a big one to France 75-54. In that game against Nigeria, as we take a look at some of the numbers that they had there in terms of the team leaders here, the game leader there, they relied on Alana Smith for Australia, who had 15 points in that game, but Steph Talbot had 12 rebounds to lead the way and also 10 assists. Steph Talbot doing it all. They're going to need a lot more from her in this particular game. 3 steals also for Steph Talbot in that game. Now on the other end for France, or for Canada rather, in that game against France, the game that they did lose at, it was a bit of a disappointing performance for them, something that they want to make sure they bounce back from in a big way. Canada and France, 75-54 was the final count there. Team leaders there for Team Canada was Shea Colley, who had 11 points, 10 rebounds for Kayla Alexander, and 6 assists as well for Colley. And Bridget Carleton ended up with 2 blocks and 2 assists there. Back in the game here, Ezzy Magbegor gets the first lay-in to go for Australia. 7:37 on the count there. 5-2 here early on. And thank you very much for joining us. Doms is already the first one in the chat. Says that Canada got this. Let's see if they do. Australia, of course, answering back. The answer back is Sammy Whitcomb getting a 3-pointer to fall. Sammy Whitcomb draining the first 3 here and drawing a foul in the process. That, of course, came from a turnover from Kia Nurse. But, of course, Shea Colley gets a miss from beyond the arc for the Canadians, and they go the other way. Steph Talbot comes away with a rebound. Oh, and a bad pass here. It's Bridget Carleton, who comes up with the steal. Game stats to watch out for here. The turnover count is one we're going to watch out for because both these teams, more than 20 turnovers in their last game. Arguably the biggest problem in their particular matchups against Nigeria and France. Australia so far, very early on in this game, nearing the halfway point in the first quarter, already with 3 turnovers, while the Canadians doing a bit of a better job here with only 1 TO. Now from the free throw line, the Canadians get one here to make it a 1-point lead, courtesy of a score from Shea Colley. This is the second though, and they go the other way. Oh, rather not. It is Canada who gets an offensive rebound here. Canada very active on the boards, very active here early on in this one. They already have around 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds here for the Canadians. And in terms of points off turnovers, though, you have yet to really take over, and second chance points as well. Only 1 point from the points of turnover. Again, thank you very much for joining us here today in what is a chat party heard around the world. So make sure you come in and join us here on the chat. Of course, you can also come in and not just subscribe, but join in and be part of this whole FIBA Olympic experience. We really are happy that you're a part of this. And of course, we're really happy that we could bring this all for you. Of course, 2 nations here who are trying to bounce back from opening day losses. And so far, since that Shea Colley hit, no points yet between these two. And a series of substitutions here. Tress Magid comes in for Australia, while Sammy Hill comes in for the Canadians, coming in for Jade Melbourne and Shea Colley, respectively. Now, this Australian team here has a lot of history to be made here, simply because of the participation still, and still competing. Lauren Jackson, who is now the oldest Olympic baller, women or men, having seen a lot of action for Australia in the past. So just a basketball legend for sure. Someone to watch out for in general every time she hits the floor. And speaking of, as we take a look at Ezzy Magbegor getting a 3-pointer after Kia Nurse stabs in 2. 5:39 left here in the first quarter, all knotted up at 8 apiece. Good contest between these two, very nip and tuck. You can tell that these two nations really require this, really need this win if they want any realistic chance of actually keeping themselves alive in this Olympic race. Of course, technically, mathematically, will be able to still survive with a loss, but of course, they don't want to rely on just that. Lauren Jackson checks in for the first time here for the Australians, so with Alana Smith coming out, Mira Fields and Aaliyah Edwards coming in for Bridget Carleton and Natalie Achonwa, respectively. 8-8 here, still between these two. 5:17 left here in the quarter number 1. 3-point shot missed by Fields straight off the bench, and a defensive rebound coming from Australia. We go the other way, as these two teams, in terms of their shooting, not necessarily there just yet. Taking a look at some of the game stats here. Poor shooting day for both teams, in particular from beyond the arc. For the Canadians, who are now shooting 33%. Australia doing a lot better, 67% there. But from 2-point range, the Opals are at 25%. Something that they should watch out for here. Looking at the 3-point shooting percentage, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc are the Australians, while Canada shooting a paltry 1 of 3. Difference not quite there yet. And let's see, though, if that builds up later on. Sammy Whitcomb, as I saw about three-pointers, hits a three-pointer here for the Australians, 11-8 in favor of the Aussies. Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. The cheer heard around the world every time Australia ends up playing. The Canadians, though, want to silence that here today. Lauren Jackson, defensive rebound over Miss Kia Nurse. Australians trying to pad up their lead here, trying to make it more than a one-possession ball game. 11-8 still to count, 4:16 left here in quarter number 1. And a few misses here from both sides as a defensive rebound comes away in favor of the Canadians after Kyla Alexander gets her first block of the game. Again, thank you very much for joining us and having us here as your second screen experience here for the FIBA Basketball Women's Tournament in the Paris 2024 Olympics. Really appreciate you guys all being here and joining us here today. Around 100 or so watching us here on this chat at the moment. If you could go and share this one and let people know that we're talking hoops over here, and hopefully you could join us here on the chat on the side of the screen. And let's have a quick conversation there to figure out if we can have a little debate or two as well. Lauren Jackson comes away with a steal here for the Australians, and a foul here from Shea Colley, more of the Judy foul. They award the foul to the Australians, who will shoot 2 from the free throw line, and that will be an opportunity here for Australia to pad up their lead just a bit more. First free throws of the game coming here for the Australians. And the women's basketball tournament happening concurrently with the men's basketball tournament. Of course, Australia will figure themselves, or at least will hope they end up in the podium in both men's and women's. And Australia, to do that, need a result here. The Opals need that for sure. Timeout called by the Canadians. The foul was drawn by Ezzy Magdegor. She'll have 2 shots when we return to action. 3:07 left here in the first quarter. Pace going really quickly here. But of course, they'll need a bit of help in terms of their scoring percentages, because at the moment, scoring has been a bit slow here. A lot of running, but then not a lot of gunning. Or at least not getting on target. Let's take a look at the game stats again. Biggest lead so far, 5 for the Canadians after they opened up the game with a 5-0 run, while the Australians are now holding their biggest lead at 3. At the meantime, of course, it was a great start for the Canadians, but eventually the Australians finally found their way through. 17% from two-point land are the Australians, but they're shooting red hot from beyond the arc, already at 75% here. Talking about the Aussies. Look at their numbers here, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, easy number to find out. And 2 of 2 from beyond the arc is Sammy Whitcomb, someone to watch out for there. 1 of 6 from two-point land are the Australians. That's the reason why they are now shooting 40% from the field. A look at the Canadians, 3 of 10 from the field, good for 30%, easy math there. And of course, the three-point shooting, just 1 of 3, not a lot of attempts from there, but 2 of 7 from the two-point range as well, something to watch out for. You know, getting the shots and getting good quality shots are going to be something that they have to make sure is that they can handle. And looks like Ezzy Magdegor gets 1 of 2 free throws for the Australians, making it a 2-possession ball game. 4-point lead here for Australia. Again, thank you very much for joining us here. Mears Kasulia, I hope I'm saying your name right, says, "Go Australia!" So you have a Canadian fan in Doms and Maersk with an Aussie supporter here as Magdegor makes it 3 straight points for herself, makes it in a layup. 14-8 to count here in favor of the Australians, as the Canadians all of a sudden are looking for different sorts of offense. Can they find it? We'll find out soon enough. Bridget Carlton answers the call. 3 points for her. 14-11 the mark here so far. .303 left here in quarter number 1 after Bridget Carlton gets a 3-pointer to make it a 1-possession ball game between the two. 14-11. Shea Colley had the assist there for the Canadians. And the Australians are coming into this as brave with the favorites, and why not? Des Madgen increasing the lead again to 5, 16-11 after getting a floater to go. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Canadians stay close. Australia Maersk is saying that she wants Australia to report it on into Canada. Oh, let's see if they could. Of course, Canada and Australia fancy themselves a bit closer in terms of competition compared to both Nigeria and France, who these teams lost to in their first games. Sam Whitcomb makes it a 18-11 game in favor of the Australia after coming up with another lay-in. Points in the paint now. I'm going to watch out for that because it is starting to rise here for the Australians, now at 8-4. Rick Ezra says, "Let's go Australia." A lot of Australian fans on the chat here so far. Of course, Maerska is mentioning that he hopes that the score is very much in favor of Australia. Kind of makes me wonder, are there odds involved there in that particular comment? And of course, Rick Ezra says, "Let's go Australia," while Yagami Light says, "Canada, you got this." Nice even spread here between these two in terms of the votes. And of course, by the way, there's a poll on the chat here. Who you got, Canada or Australia? Let us know what you guys think. And let's see if we can get a bit of the results here later. I just voted. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. But at the moment, I don't see the results yet. We'll find out. What's most important is what the final score says later on. And at the moment, it is 18-11. Good start here from Australia after coming in a bit slow. It was a 5-0 run again for Canada to start out the entire game. Shea Colley drains the first of 2 free throws. Important there, but it was a split. But here's Achonwa, who comes away with an offensive rebound. Another chance here for Canada to come in a bit closer. You know, just trying to keep it close, get within touching distance, and you never know what could happen there. A shot there from Bridget Carleton off the turnaround J. No good there. And it is Magian who comes away with the rebound, offensive rebound, after missing her own lay-in. Australia gets a foul there from Shea Colley. They're now starting to flex their muscles here at the end of quarter number 1. Canada are struggling here to find any sort of offense and holding off Australia in the paint. Again, it's showing in the numbers in terms of the game stats here. The points in the paint right now of Australia's 8-4 in favor of the Australians. That's a +4 advantage there. Second chance points, though. Both these teams have gotten offensive rebounds. Both of them are 3 offensive rebounds each, but no one getting second chance points yet so far. Oh, now Maersk is now definitely saying that yes, he does have odds in favor of Australia and is saying that, yep, he wants the score to be one-sided. Well, we'll find out later on whether or not he'll be heartbroken or not, because Canadian fans out there will be very desperate to make sure that Maersk is not correct here. But let's see what the Canadians will do in this one. Again, a really tough game for Canada in the latter part of this first quarter. Just being bullied inside almost. The size just doing too much. And here they go, going the other way. A steal for Aaliyah Edwards. 36 seconds left here in the first quarter. A point would be big here for Canada, trying to make it a 2-possession ball game before the second quarter. Technically, it is a 2-possession ball game, but a bit more manageable if they can get a 2 here. The Real Savage says, yeah, there are odds. And he's laughing about it. Not quite sure who he went with. But then a foul drawn here by Aaliyah Edwards. Lauren Jackson with a foul. Looking 2 free throws here for the Canadians. And, you know, I hope Maersk keeps on talking to us here on the chat, because I want to see the evolution of his reactions as the score goes by throughout this one. So, Maersk, please do stay with us here in this live chat. And we'd love to gauge your emotions throughout this one. Hopefully, it's a roller coaster. Aaliyah Edwards gets the first of 2 free throws to make it a 5-point game as Silas Swords comes in here for the last 35 seconds of quarter number 1. Now, according to Real Savage, he says, for me, Canada will win this match. Will they? We will find out. Of course, for the Opals and all the fans of the Opals here, that's the Australian team rather. They have other things on their minds. Of course, it'll be a big win here, by the way, for Canada if they can get a victory here. Oh, a miss here from Isobel Borlais. Ali Edwards got the two free throws to go. It was a 4-point game, and there's going to be an opportunity here for Canada to have a stab here at the end of quarter number 1. Let's see if they're going to get that. Of course, the Canadians. Right now, we're seeing on the screen here, one of the Canadians is actually hurt, holding up an ice bag to her face. Let's see if we're going to see her back later on. And again, the opportunity here, by the way, will go back to Australia, not Canada, at the end of quarter number 1. But, oh, never mind that. After a missed lay-in from Australia, it is Natalie Achonwa who comes in and makes it a 2-point game at the end of quarter number 1, 18-16. Great comeback for the Canadians after being middling in the middle part of the first quarter, being a bit sluggish, being a bit slow, and really taking advantage there of the good hustle there from Natalie Achonwa to end quarter number 1. Again, driving in, and actually it was a great dish there coming from Bridget Carleton. Achonwa with the jump shot. She had a nice drive, attracted a lot of defenders, and then the dribble drive, the kick out was good, and Achonwa rewarding her teammate with an assist and getting 2 of her own. Great game so far, quarter number 1. It is 18-16. And how many minute delay for the stream? Well, Ron Peralta is asking there. Again, you can go and check these. If you want to see the live stream of the game wherever you are around the world, check the video description below to see where you can watch the game wherever you are around the world. That we are not able to show the game here in particular, in this particular YouTube, simply because of the rights that are involved in it. In other words, FIBA does not have the rights to the basketball tournament to be shown here on YouTube. But of course, we can talk about it, turn it on the side, have this on, and we'll have a lot of fun. It's funny because if you're asking me about how delayed is the stream from what I'm talking about, well, I'm looking at the live stats, which is maybe a full 30-45 seconds ahead of the live stream I'm watching. So there's gonna be a bit of a difference here between the action I'm seeing and the stats and the numbers I'm seeing. So we're gonna rely on the live stats because that's actually more important here. We need to stay more current, and hopefully that eventually, with the wonders of technology, things might be a bit different soon with regards to how the technology works out with letting me talk about all of this with you guys. Again, yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people are gonna be on Mr. Kasulia today because he says he's got Australia under 5.5. Well, let's see if that's gonna be the case. Steven Events looking for badges, and I would suggest join and subscribe, and you're gonna find out if you can be a part of our little family here, and if you can be a rookie or an MVP or whichever one you subscribe to. We would love to have you here on the FIBA Basketball channel as a subscriber, and of course as someone who joins in as well and donates to the page to increase the quality of the streams that we're having, and of course make it more fun for everyone involved. Tied ball game now, by the way, after Sammy Hill drains 2 free throws to start out quarter number 2, and we got a ball game, folks. Don't get me wrong, this might be a really close one here, because these two teams, again, desperate for a win. They both need it after losing their first games in their respective opener here in the Paris Olympics. And it's going to this is going to be very important to figure out who will move on, or at least who has a better chance of moving on to the next round. Of course, their other group mates, France and Nigeria. Australia losing to Nigeria in what was a shock result. So they're going to have to shake that off quickly. Well, the Canadians are saying, like, hey, if Nigeria can upset Australia, why not us? Of course, they lost to host nation France in their first game. So we'll find out what's happening, what's going to happen between these two. Scoring a bit slow here after a minute played here in quarter number 2. Only the 2 free throws coming from Sammy Hill is the difference here. And low-scoring ball game actually might favor the Canadians. and it will be tough for Australia, or rather Canada, to really outpace Australia in terms of scoring. If you keep the scoring low here for Canada, that will really help out. That would really help them in this one. And right now, just a bunch of turnovers here. Side of Swords comes away with the steal after Aaliyah Edwards lost the ball. Basically, they're just throwing the ball around. But Bridget Carleton gets a three-pointer here for the Canadians, gives the lead back to them 21-18. Cue the timeout from Australia. And it is a reminder to them that this Canadian team, though they are underdogs, will not go away without a fight and actually could win this game if they aren't careful. Now let's see whether or not you're going to see this Australian team capitulate rather, in this one, or will the Canadians won't be? Let's see whether or not they'll be able to sustain this run that they are having here. Great start to the quarter for Canada. John Ray Timaco saying, "Let's go Canada." Well, you got me light, as you mentioned a while ago. 3 Canadian flags, real savage with the Canadian flags. And guys, let's know what you guys think about this one. Because, in the Olympics, there are so many upsets, so many weird results that you don't think could happen, but actually do happen. We'll see if we'll have another one here today. Because, again, Canada are going into this one as the underdogs, at least prohibitively. The Australians have a pedigree of success. Lauren Jackson in particular. How much success has she had in her career? Actually, I want to check that out. 140 of you now joining us here on the live stream. Thank you very much for being with us in this chat party. Again, invite more and more people to go. It'll be a lot of fun to read out the chat on the side and try to... And let's see if we can have a little debate going on. So, Lauren Jackson, just take a look at her profile here. Oldest player, man or woman, 43 years young, is Ms. Jackson, and is one of the greatest WNBL players, 7-time WNBL champion, 4-time WNBL MVP, and a 2-time WNBA champion, and 3-time WNBA MVP back in 03, 07, and 2010. Now, 14 years later, boy, we're gonna see if she still has a bit in her. She is part of the 25th anniversary team of the WNBA and has her jersey retired by the Seattle Storm, number 15. Yeah, just a legend of the game there. And right now, scoring very, very slow here in quarter number 2, or at least very slow for the Australians. Already at the 7-minute mark or 7:40 mark, and finally they get a score, and that's come from Steph Talbot with a driving lay-in, 20-21. Still in favor of the Canadians though. Much needed here for the Australians. But Kayla Alexander gets 23-20 to count so far. Great answer though. She'll also get a bonus point rather, to make it a 3-point play should she finish. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on this FIBA stream, on this FIBA chat party. And if you're wondering, hey, where can we watch the actual game? Please check the video description below to see which local provider gives that to you wherever you are around the world, so you can catch Australia against Canada right now. It's looking to be a good game, by the way. The underdogs, Canada, having a great first half here. Slowed down in the middle of the first, but then they are really giving Australia all that they can handle here in this game. Both teams coming out of losses in their opening matchups against Australia, against Nigeria, and Canada against France. So they're both going to try and really just find ways to come back. Yeah, Kasulia is actually talking about turnovers here, and that's actually one of the numbers that we're watching out for in this game. In terms of turnovers, Australia already has 8, Canada has 5. The ball handling problems has been a thing since the first games. Again, in that game against Nigeria, for Australia, they turned the ball over 26 times, while Canada turned the ball over 25 times against France. Two numbers that have to improve drastically if they want to come up away with a win here, as the Australians are still looking for answers. This has been a very poor quarter for them in terms of the scoring department. 8-2 in favor of the Canadians here so far. Trying to pick up the pace with regards to the scoring here. Talk about the Australians. Look at some of the stats here. Biggest lead is held by the Australians with 7. Biggest scoring run here, though, of the Canadians is 10-0. And they do lead now. And the question is right now, who can find a way to finally get the basket to go? Because at the moment, they had a couple of opportunities here. Talking about Australia, Alana Smith, Steph Talbot are missing out on their opportunities. A turnover here from Tia Nurse, a bad pass there. And you have to figure out who will actually hold on to the ball a bit better. They have to be able to really limit the turnovers. If they do force a turnover, they have to score off the break, get points off turnovers. So far, Canada have been doing it a bit better, 8-6 in favor of them. Fast break points in favor of the Canadians as well, 7-5. But in points in the paint, that's where Australia really made their money, 10-6 in favor of them. No second chance points yet for these two, despite 5 offensive rebounds for Australia, 4 offensive rebounds for Canada. Maybe a bit rushed after getting their own offensive rebounds. So we'll find out whether or not if they will change that. But we're here right now nearing the halfway point of quarter number 1. Both teams still within touching distance of each other. It's a 2-possession ball game, 4-point game in favor of the Canadians here in quarter number 2. But find a score here coming from Mariana Tolo, getting a lay-in off the assist of Sammy Whitcomb. Oh, but what a quick turnaround here, because Steph Talbot ties it all up, 24 all. Cue the timeout for the Canadians. Good little rally there coming from Australia. 4-0 run to make it 24 all. Let's take a look at some of the top performers here so far of Australia. Sammy Whitcomb with 8 points already in this one, with Ezzy McVigor with 8 as well. In terms of the assist count, Sammy Whitcomb also with 3. Steph Talbot has 3 assists to go as well. Rather, 2 assists to go. And it's also Ezzy McVigor with 2 assists. So really spreading the wealth here. Talking about the Australians, 9 assists in the game as a team. On the other end, the Canadians don't have a score in double digits yet, but then Bridget Carleton is 1 away from reaching that mark. 9 points in this game, 3 of 4 from the field, perfect from beyond the arc. Has 1 miss from 2-point line, but maybe we should remind her to just keep shooting from outside. So far, she's more accurate there. 2 rebounds, 2 assists to go with that. And Kayla Alexander with 4 rebounds for the Canadians. She leads the way in that department, while Shea Colley is the only other player here to contribute. Well, she has 1 field goal, so actually the only one player who has more than 1 field goal here for Canada is Bridget Carleton. So we'll need a bit more help here for her if she wants to upset this Australian national team, who was, I assure you, it's looking like that it will be a close game all throughout here, which may or may not bode very well for some people who have bet the over or the under in whichever way. Of course, let's see if that's going to be the case. We're going to have some happy campers here later on. Kia Nurse gives a lead back to the Canadians, as well as getting an N1 opportunity off the foul from Alana Smith. Well, again, this Canada team, don't count them out. We have a few Canadian fans on the chat. Must be happy, must be smiling. Around 145 of you. Let's see if we can get this up to 200, guys. Let's try to get the stream here up to 200 people. Just go, share this, get more people involved. They don't have to chat. They don't have to chat and fight the likes of The Real Savage on the side, Maersk, John Ray Timagos, Yagami Light, Steven Events, And whoever else, Ron Peralta, joining us on the side. Of course, if we can have more of you coming in, that would be great. As Kia Nurse, by the way, got the N1 opportunity, making a 3-point game, 27-24, as we are 17 seconds away from the halfway point of quarter number 2. Oh, Kayla George getting a big 3-pointer to go, tying it all up at 27-all. Sammy Whitcomb has been pulling the strings here for the Opals, the Australians, getting much needed production, courtesy of Sammy Whitcomb, just giving it out, dishing it out to all her teammates. And a turnover here after a foul from Ochenwa. Great job from Kayla George. Hit a big 3 a while ago and forces an offensive foul. Well, that's how you do it. That's how you win. Just really doing the dirty work here. Talking about Kayla George of the Australians. Let's see. Oh, Mariana Tolo gets an offensive rebound after getting a miss, but then Isabel Borlas missing off the step back J. Carlton comes away with the defensive rebound. We go the other way. 165 now watching. I like it, guys. I like it. We're asking more people to come in. You are doing your part. Asking more and more people to jump in this stream. Come and join us. Let more and more people know. Of course, the FIBA Discord server is also live. Go check us out there. And of course, you can get the live results from the Olympics on the olympics.basketball/men and more when you check that out as well. Just go through the website. As Steph Talbot gets the lay-in to get the lead back to the Australians, 29-27. The Australians finally come to life here in quarter number 2. Much needed there. It's now 11-11 in terms of quarter scoring here in this one after the Canadians got off to a great start. Now, what we saw in quarter number 1 was that Canada got off to a good start and then Australia managed to come back midway through. But then they did tail off at the end of the quarter, talking about the Australians, as Canada found a way to really make it close. We'll see what they got. We'll see what they all got here. As just a great drive there coming from the Australians. I just got a chance to see how Steph Talbot got the driving lane to go, just bullying her way inside. This shot from Sammy Hill from beyond the arc. As the Canadians are just struggling to find points all of a sudden. Again, it feels like deja vu from quarter number 1. Question is though, do Canada have a nice finishing kick here as Mariana Tolo gets a lay-in. 31-27, the score here in favor of the Aussies. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. As Kia Nurse misses a lay-in. And Canada are in danger of giving Australia all the momentum going to the halftime break. You do not want that. The FIBA Basketball Channel admin says, why do we get the feeling this will go down to the final possession? Well, if it does, I hope everyone's going to be watching that one. That's all we want. Close basketball, heart-stopping moments, the amazing plays, the oh my gosh factors. We want all of that. We want that buckle up moments. 12-7 assist count here in favor of the Australians. In particular, Sammy Whitcomb. Boy, what a player she's been here today. Already with 4 assists here of the 12 of the Canadians. Just moving it around. Lay-in made by Talbot, by the way, to make it 33-27. And who had the assist? Sammy Whitcomb. Once again. Good on her so far. As the Australians taking control here then quarter number 2, +4 advantage for them here. It's now a 6-point lead. An offensive rebound from Silas Swords here, keeping the ball alive here for the Canadians. Looking for a way to score once more. Feels like it's been a while since you mentioned them scoring, as Aaliyah Edwards finally gets a basket here, 33-29. with a minute 31 left here in quarter number 2, the first half. It's been up and down for the Canadians. They start out good, they flounder in the middle, and let's see if they're going to imitate what they did in the end of quarter number 1. They had a stronger finish compared to the Australians, and they still have the opportunity to do that. Kayla George misses a 3-point shot. That's Bridget Carlton comes away with a defensive rebound, but Sammy Hill misses the lay-in defensive rebound for the Australians. Rick Ezra looking for a blowout for Australia. Don't know if we're going to get that. Cue the timeout here for Australia with 56 seconds left here in the first half. Interesting things we're seeing here between these two. The Canadians still trailing 33-29, but they got a glimmer of hope courtesy for Leah Edwards with a miss lay-in for Sammy Hill. It ain't costly, but could have been a great opportunity missed there. Just watch the last sequence wherein she felt like she had contact, but then really just ended up just throwing it really nowhere. Timeout called by the Australians. Guys, what do you think so far? Who do you think is going to get this? A lot of people asking for a blowout, but I don't know if they're going to get it. Based on what we're seeing here so far, we're seeing a back and forth affair between these two. If you're not going to get a blowout, what do you guys think we will get here towards the end of this contest? We'll try to read those comments down here as I adjust my temperature here in this room. Excuse me. And I'm back. So right now, because the action's heating up here. Action's heating up here in Paris. No, I'm not in Paris. I'm just virtually in Paris with everyone. Couple changes here. Steph Talbot checks out. Orleans comes back in. Shea Colley comes back in for Canada, while Sammy Hill checks out for them. Who will have the final kick here? As it will be Australia ball. (33 to 29). Action just a bit slow here. Big Tank TV 56. Well, needs Australia to hit a certain point count. You can read that on the chat here for the halftime spread. Let us know how happy you are at the halftime break or how sad you are, depending on what happened. No matter what, we're here for you. Sammy Whitcomb gets a 2-pointer to go 35 to 29. And there will be a foul from Mariana Tolo. Shea Colley will have a chance to score 2 with 2 free throws, but misses the first of 2. Misses both. Defensive rebound for Borles. And well, we talked about how Canada had a great ending kick in the end of quarter number 1. So far though, not the case here, as Australia are looking like the better side going into the halftime break. 34 seconds left in the shot clock. 35-29, not a blowout yet though. Oh, for some people it might be. Kayla Alexander gets a 2-pointer to go here, making it 35-31, 4 points now. And Kayla George will also give Kayla Alexander a chance here to make a 3-point play. Couple of changes here as we are entering the last 10 seconds or so of this second quarter. And Alexander makes the free throw to go. Well, how heartbreaking will it be to someone like Big Tank if Canada steal the ball and drain a 3? I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, but it's Kayla George who gets a 3-pointer. Kayla George makes it a 6-point game, 38-32. And that'll do it for the end of the quarter. Sammy Whitcomb with assist, by the way. What a quarter here again for the Canadians. They did outscore, rather the Australians. They did outscore the Canadians 20-16 plus 4 there. They did start out the quarter very slow, but Australia managed to battle their way back. And our friend here has come on and said that, oh, if you get out all of the 12 Canada players and put cones inside the court, the outcome will be the same. A comment on their defense for sure. Comment on the defense for sure, because you got a lot of happy people there, by the way, who obviously are happy with the score so far. Kayla George getting that big triple at the end as a buzzer beater. Yeah, that was big. That was big. Left wide open, actually. Closeout came in just a second too late. Yeah, and obviously there's also a comment here commenting on the defense here played by the Canadians, and it's hard to dispute that, especially when you take a look at the stats here. So in terms of 3-point shooting, the Australians have been really having a field day, 56% from beyond the arc. That has been really torturing the Canadians. Australia with 3-point shooting, a 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. That's the 56% we're looking at, and that is an incredible number here for the Aussies. While the Canadians, on the other hand, are shooting a paltry 33%. They haven't been attempting as much as well. Actually, both teams, they are around the same count in terms of the 3-point attempts. 5 of 9 for Australia, 3 of 9 for the Canadians. But it's the points in the paint as well as been causing so much problems here for the Canadians, because it is a plus 10 for Australia inside, 22-12. They've really been bullying the Canadians inside. Fast break points, though, Canadians have been running the ball a lot better, plus 5 advantage for them in the fast break points, 10-5. Second chance points, though, both teams are having a hard time converting their offensive reboundings, which is a shame, considering Australia have 9 offensive rebounds, Canada has 5, and yet they are both collectively only able to add on 2 points from second chance opportunities. So you have to feel like the team to address that in particular, add on points from there, hopefully get easy points from their second chance opportunities. You never know, that could change the game. That could change the complexion of this entire thing. The points in the paint, Australia just taking full advantage there. They also have a plus 10 advantage in terms of rebounding. Talking about the Australians, it feels like every shot the Canadians make, Australia have just found a way to really dominate the boards and not allow them anything more. Also plus 6 in terms of offensive, plus 4 rather in terms of offensive rebounding, plus 6 in defensive rebounding. Let's see if that changes. But the 14 assists here for Canada, this is a sign of how much the ball is popping around. And you have to give credit to Sammy Whitcomb. 10 points, 6 assists already, and as well as 3 rebounds. Not yet quite triple-double watch, but then definitely candidate for a double-double for sure. How about Sammy Whitcomb? On that note, let's find out more about Sammy Whitcomb, because Sammy Whitcomb is balling straight up here for the Australians. Of course, is a champion, by the way, in the WNBA. Won in 2018 and 2020. And now plays for the Seattle Storm. Talking about Sammy Whitcomb, and obviously playing very, very well. And showing here that pedigree coming in today. So let's see what happens here. We're also looking at the quarter scoring here. 18-16 in favor of Australia, 20-16 in favor of Australia in quarter number 2. And of course, we're going to be here the entire time with you all the way to the end of this one. It's looking really close though, just a 6-point game. What do you think? What do you think we're going to see in quarter number 3? Can the Canadians come out big, come out stronger, or will Australia finally not let Canada get going? Because that's been a problem. Canada have shown us that they actually have the ability to start out strong. They were the better starters in quarter number 1, quarter number 2. Just faded as the half went on, or as the quarter went on rather. So the Australians have just been doing a good job stopping hot starts from Canada. Of course, easier said than done. It's all easier said than done. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on the FIBA watch party, the chat party here. If you're just joining us, once again, you cannot watch the game live here, but you can keep this open on the side as you're watching it. You can find the stream down here in the video details to see a link of where you can watch it wherever you are around the world. And just an update on the poll here. 430 votes say that 4 out of the 430 votes that we have, half of you say Australia will get it, the other half say Canada. It's literally 50-50. That's the type of game we've been having so far as well. Cosco Bangolan is saying that rooting for Australia to have over 71 points. That's a very specific number. Why so? Yeah, we'll see though. In quarter number 2, it felt like the scoring did slow down a bit, just a bit for a time, especially in the first 2 or 3 minutes. But then Australia finally found the rhythm. Canada just couldn't stop them defensively. If you're Canada, you're going to be hoping that you can go and slow down Australia in the middle of the quarters, because that has been a problem for them. They start out strong, but then they fade. Australia get a bit of the rhythm. Can Canada be a bit more disruptive? We'll see. Also, can they take care of the ball a bit more? These two teams have been turning the ball over a lot. Again, both these teams had double-digit, over 20 turnovers in their opening games. And they're not quite on pace to do that, but they are turning the ball over a lot. 9 turnovers here for Australia, 8 turnovers for Canada. So we'll find out. Thank you to Mike Alexander, by the way, who gets the first super on the live stream, giving $1.99. Thank you very much to Mike Alexander. Cosco Bangola doing the math for himself, saying I need 17 points in each quarter for Australia. I believe that they can do it. And let's take a look at what they did in quarter number 1 and 2. Again, 18-16 for Australia in quarter number 1, and 20-16 still in favor of Australia in quarter number 2. Let's see if the scoring of Australia continues to rise or if it slows down, because Canada will get their way. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out soon enough. Again, thank you very much for joining us here. Still a halftime break, so thank you very much for chilling and keeping this active here on the page. We really appreciate you joining us. And of course, we're going to find out if Canadians could pull off a bit of an upset here against the Aussies. And we'll take a look at what happened in their last games again, talking about the Australians and the Canadians. A bit of a disappointing game, especially for Australia, who lost to Nigeria in that one. Actually, they were outscored in the first half by quite a bit. They only managed to score 28 points in the first half, talking about Australia, against the Nigerians, who basically found a way to dominate this Australian team. It was a 41-28 was the halftime score, I believe, in favor of the Nigerians. And Australia just came out lackluster. Who led the way for them? Sammy Whitcomb had 13 points and 3 assists. Steph Talbot had 3 points and 10 assists to go with 12 rebounds, though she was 1 of 10 from the field. Just not a great shooting day for her. Of course, Ron Peralta with a happy story with regards to where he went in terms of his luck. And again, we had Who You Got from the voting a while ago. 50% of you say Canada, 49% of you say Australia, and that was a complete poll of 446 voters. So practically 50-50. Not quite sure why it says here that Australia only had 49%, and there's like I'm missing 1%. So the halftime break. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, I'm Paulo Del Rosario, hosting this chat party for you here on the FIBA YouTube page. Always great to have everyone join us here. Of course, we run this for the men's and for the women's. Sometimes we have hosts, sometimes we don't. Halftime update. Who wins this? 38 at the half is Australia. 32 at the half is Canada. You can make your votes there. And so far, Australia looking really good here. That second quarter showing, especially defensively towards the end against Canada, to hold them down. Very important. Very, very important. As we are getting ready to start off quarter number 3. Who have you guys been impressed with? You can check out the box scores on the FIBA.basketball website and go to the Women's Olympic Basketball Tournament Paris 2024 and check out the game here between Australia and Canada. You can see the live stats there, so the box scores. Make sure you check that out, and you can track the game as well as we are all doing together. Only 42 likes here at the bottom. It's looking like for this stream. Let's get that number up, guys. Let's get that number up. Go and like it. Go and like it. Press the like button underneath. Make us all happy here. Make us all happy here, especially all my Filipino friends. Guys, represent. Go press the like button. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do in terms of getting that number up. Also go subscribe and join as well. And of course, we are doing this for the men's basketball tournament. What do you guys think of what we're seeing there so far for the men's basketball as well? Of course, Team USA, the heavy favorites here in the women's division. But then, it's looking like right now in the men's division, Team USA also looks like the team to beat. Some people were wondering, hey, will chemistry be an issue for them? Or does it even matter? It's looking like with the way that they blew out South Sudan, boy, they are looking great. Talking about Team USA. Could be gold medal finishes for both men and women's. We'll see. What do you guys think? Are there any teams in the women's division who you feel could shock the U.S. women's basketball team? Or at the same time, in the same vein, in the men's basketball tournament, which team do you feel could upset the USA? Team USA. That's obviously going to be one of the bigger quandaries to solve. As we are getting ready to start our quarter number 3 here. Canada and Australia. Quick recap, 38-32 in favor of the Australians. While in terms of the numbers here, 43% from the field are the Australians, shooting 10% better than Canadians at 33%. 56% from beyond the arc are the Opals of Australia, 33% only for the Canadians. Plus 10 in rebounding are Australia, to go with plus 4 in offensive rebounding and plus 6 in assists, despite turning the ball over 9 times. Canada has 7 steals, but are not able to get as many points of turnover as they want. They do have 11, but then Australia also have 10, so kind of evens things out there, despite the high steal count here coming from the Australians. Let's see if they can get more. And yes, we are getting going here at the moment. We're gonna get going here as both teams are getting set to take the floor once more. Leading scores so far: Carlton, Alexander, and Nurse here for Canada, while Whitcomb, Talbot, and McBegor for Australia. Let us know what you guys think. Who will get it here in quarter number 3? Can Canada come up big here? They need to come up big in this one. Or will Australia continue their good start here in this one? Or rather, the great ending that they had in quarter number 2. And we're off here in quarter number 3. As Steph Talbot gets a rebound off the miss from Kayla Alexander. And yes, hello to AKMC joining us in the chat. Rick Ezra's asking what time we started. Well, we're starting now. And Maris is saying, yeah, it's a while until Australia wins. But then that's how it works. You gotta finish the game first as McBegor gets a 2-pointer to go here for the Australians. 40-32 is count. And yeah, Shea Colley gets a big 3-pointer here for the Canadians, making a 5-point game, 40-35. And our FIBA admin actually gave Ron Peralta some food for thought here, because Ron Peralta says, does Giannis and Greece still have a chance at the podium if they win the rest of the games? And according to our FIBA admin, who probably knows patience more than I do, he says that absolutely, if they win every remaining game, they will take the gold. Pero good luck. But good luck on that. Winning every single game means that you're probably going to have to go up against Team USA, maybe a France. We'll find out. But yeah, there's still a chance there. We'll see. Of course, the Discord server is also live. You can go join the conversation there as well. And don't forget, you can catch the live reports, live stats on the Olympic Soft Basketball page. There's a link here on the live chat. Make sure you join us there. As Kian Nurse draws a foul and a turnover here by the Australians again. Again, the Canadians have shown us in this game in particular that they can start off quarters well. It's looking like, despite the first point here from Australia by McBegor, that they could get a bit of momentum here. Oh, but a miss lay in for Shea Colley, and McBegor gets a defensive rebound. We're going the other way. Oh, another turnover here for Australia. Achonwa with a steal and the pull-up J. Oh, she's been playing big here. Talking about Natalie Achonwa. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for Natalie Achonwa. 4 points, 2 of 2 from the field, but 3 rebounds and 3 assists, as well as 2 steals. Stat sheet stuffer, and the highest efficiency points here for the Canadians as well. Important plays from her. But Jade Melbourne answers back with 2, 42-37. No one's allowed to relax. No one is allowed to relax as Kia Nurse misses a 3-pointer. Sammy Whitcomb gets a defensive rebound. Sammy has been everywhere here for the Australians. And Jade Melbourne gets 2. Another assist here again from Sammy Whitcomb. Sammy Whitcomb already with 7 assists in this game. 3 away from a double-double. Maybe she gets a double-double here in quarter number 3. She may focus on getting rebounds, trying to see if we can get a triple-double for her in this game. Easier said than done, though. Oh, Bridget Carleton. An important snipe here coming for Canada. 44-40. The count there. Bridget Carleton. 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, just rocking the venue with her outside shots. 5 of 12 for the Canadians right now, 42%. She scored 4 of the 12 attempts here, talking about Bridget Carleton of the entire Canadian team. If you're taking notes, Team Australia, put a body on her. Bridget Carleton swishing the net from beyond the arc. My goodness. Well, what a game. What a game we're seeing here between these two. Because Canada, I know, are the underdogs here, but then they've been showing us that they got a lot to give. They got a lot to give here. Alana Smith with a missed three-point J. Nira Fields with a defensive rebound. Big defensive rebound there. Gotta wonder where we're gonna go. Oh, Tapos says that Australia will win by 10 or more points. But I'm not putting that person down. But then it's looking right here that Canada may be putting up a fight here. Might be a single-digit ball game. This could be all up to the final possession here, or at least the final minute. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Of course, we may have some nervous people here watching. Merce Casulia might be. Who else were saying something? Cosco Bangolan might be worried as well. Kayla Alexander gets the first of two free throws after Shea Colley gives an assist. And it was Ezzy Magbegor who had the foul. Nice to see more and more people watching. For those who had to log out a while ago, call them back. Do post this on your own channels. Invite more people to come in. Two free throws made, by the way, for Kyle Alexander, 44-42. A turnover here for Lauren Jackson. After a bad pass, ball goes the other way, and Australia are all of a sudden allowing Canada with a chance to tie the ball game up here with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Pull up 2 missed by Ochonwa. Shea Colley was credited with the assist, but offensive rebound here for Canadians. And Team Canada battling here. Great start to quarter number 3. We are halfway through the third quarter, by the way. It's only a 2-point lead here in favor of the Australians. What do they got? All about Team Canada. Miss from Bridget Carleton, and it is Tess Madigan with the defensive rebound. And a steal again from Achonwa. Steph Talbot with a turnover, a bad pass. Achonwa has been everywhere here for Canadians. But another turnover here. We go the other way. It is a game of hot potato. Offensive rebound from Steph Talbot after the miss from Jade Melbourne. Chance here for Australia to double up their lead. Turnovers piling up here. 14 turnovers already for Australia. Just 9 here for the Canadians. But it has not been a pretty game in terms of ball retention here. Points of turnovers, 13 already for Canada. 10 for Australia. Offensive rebound by Talbot is a jump ball, by the way. Or a throw-in situation, rather. Looks like Australia will keep the ball. Ochonwa will check out. Great work from Ochonwa, by the way. Aaliyah Edwards comes in for Nira Fields and Silas Swords as well. Sammy Whitcomb returns to the game for Alana Smith. And Kayla George as well for Jade Melbourne. So Sammy Whitcomb a chance to steady the ship here for the Australians. She has been such a big difference maker here. Well, according to Ron Peralta, I noticed that in women's, the size of the team impacts winning more than in men's basketball. Well, it could be. I'd argue that it will depend on how the teams play in particular. If you have a team full of good shooters, then the height is not necessarily as important. But size is important here for Australia because of the way that they do play. You take a look at the points in the paint in particular. This is how much they're dominating points in the paint. It's not just because of the size, it's because of how they're playing. 28 points in the paint for Australia compared to only 12 of Canada. Obviously, it's a big factor. Sammy Whitcomb gets a floater to go. Lauren Jackson comes away with the assist. Again, go out there and invite more of our friends to join us here. Go copy the link, share it on your social media accounts, send it to a friend, join us. And smash that like button underneath as well. Yeah, see Steven Event saying Japan is the outlier. That's absolutely true. Japan are a tiny team, but they play a very effective basketball despite the height difference. Of course, it's going to be hard to beat the bigger teams, like in the sense like the Team USA. I don't think you can be really tall but still struggle against a Team USA. So we will see Silas Swords getting a lay-in to go, making a 2-point game. Aaliyah Edwards with the assist. The substitutes doing good here for Team Canada. And Canada having a great quarter. 12-8 outscoring Australia here in quarter number 3. And at the moment here, Rich Carlton with the defensive rebound. Just a 2-point game. 2-point game. Now we're also seeing a few guys here from the men's national team of Canada supporting the women's national team. That's important, you know. Just really happening. Just really important there. Ron Peralta says, speaking of Japan, I heard Kawamura got a Grizzlies contract. I'm not quite sure about that, but hopefully it's true, and hopefully Kawamura will get a bit of a good look. Again, height, a problem for Kawamura, but he has been playing very well. Very impressive, actually. Just goes to show you have to be in the right spots, the right situation to really perform. And at the moment, scoring has slowed down here. We're nearing the last 2-minute mark of the third quarter. And it is only a 2-point game. How's everyone feeling with regards to their expectations, the bets that they had? Because a lot of y'all were very vocal about what you guys felt in terms of the point totals, in terms of the spread. What do you guys think? What do you guys feel? Let us know how you doing. Do you need emotional support? Support each other on this chat. Make some noise. Steph Talbot splits her free throws, making it 47-44. Ron Peralta got a +9 on Canada. Looking good, feeling good, I think. Looking at the other press we heard a while ago, Casulla is going to be hoping for a big fourth quarter here coming from the Canadians. Rather the Australians, as Isabelle Borlase gets a floater to go, pushing the lead back up to 5. 49-44 the count here so far for Team Australia. Again, Canada started out the quarter good. This time sustained it a bit longer. But then Australia had the better final kick. That's what happened in the second quarter. Canada had a bit of a stronger start, but then Australia answered back midway and never let go in terms of the momentum in quarter number 2. Or number 3 though, let's see. Doms is still confident that Canada's got this. 5-point advantage for Australia. Canada need a bit of support for sure. I just noticed the light behind me has died. The light behind me has died. Who's that bad for? I'll fix that for the next stream. But at the moment, Team Canada trailing by 5 as we're coming out of timeout with Shea Colley checking in for the Canadians. Look at the numbers here so far. 3-point shooting, both teams shooting okay from beyond the arc. 42% here for Australia and 38% here for the Canadians. That is good for 5 of 12 for Australia. Canada shooting a 5 of 13. But then Bridget Carleton has 4 of 6. Mark her. Make sure that she doesn't shoot again if you're Team Australia. Kia Nurse misses a jumper. Defensive rebound here coming from Australia. That actually hurt for Team Canada because they called the timeout. They wanted to get an easy point, easy basket, or manufacture it, but unable to get it there. Let's see. Well, my stream caught up to that live stat, so let's see how they missed that one. Just good defense from Australia, really, just covering every single driving lane, and that was a forced shot there by Kia Nurse. Shea Colley comes away with offensive rebound after Borlase misses a pull-up J. Again, this is a close game. I don't think we're going to have a blowout unless something special happens for Australia in the fourth quarter. Miss lay-in there for Silas Swords. Defensive rebound for Madigan. Pull-up shot, no good still. And Silas Swords had the foul on, I believe, Tess Madigan of the defensive rebound. Or, I don't know, by the way, it'll be a foul here for Team Canada. Yeah, Canada has been all over Australian team sports at these games, so you have to. That is true. In not just basketball, apparently. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Mariana Toldo gets a lay-in, make it 51-44. Yeah, so Stephen Evans made a good point. In Canada actually has had the upper hand or the better of Australia in team sports so far. So there has to be a bit of extra motivation here for Australia to get one over Team Canada. Good Vibes is looking for plus 11 here for Australia. We'll see if that's going to happen here. Is Ezzy playing? Yes, Ezzy has been playing here for the Australians. She is now at 15 minutes played, 10 points as well as 2 assists and a rebound. And right now, the assist count here for Australia plus 20 to 12. That has been a big number. Big disparity there in favor of the Australians. They've just been doing a much better job with that. And pull-up J missed again by Shea Colley, at the end of the third quarter. And it's 51-44. Good last kick by the Australians, who managed a 5-0 run at the end of the quarter. An important 5-0 run, mind you, to put some distance between them and the Canadians going into the fourth quarter here. Ali June Ed Kilyaman is asking for an 8-point spread in favor of the Australians, while Dom's saying Ali Edwards has to step up in the fourth quarter. Absolutely. Canada 8.5 was the count, or is the bet there. And Ali June trying to manifest a impressive fourth quarter performance from Australia. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So let's take a look at some of the numbers again. 29% field goal shooting, this Canadian team. They're gonna have to hope that their shooting finally comes back because they are shooting 26% from 2-point land, 38% from 3-point land, which is not so bad, but they're missing a lot of easy shots here. They're losing the rebounding battle by a lot. They're losing the rebounding battle by 13. And they're doing a very good job at forcing turnovers. 10 steals in favor of the Canadians. They have 3 blocks. They've taken care of the ball better with 10 turnovers. But then the points from turnovers, it's actually Australia. Despite the 10 steals of Canada, Australia have 14 compared to the 13 turnover points that Canada have had. And fast break points, Australia running the ball a lot better, 12-5. Second chance points all not up at 4 apiece, but then the points in the paint point, 32-14. They are pounding the paint and they are scoring. How about Australia? Good job for them. Nathan Rubin, a good question here. How about Nigeria? Can they beat France? You know what? I don't think anyone thought that Nigeria could beat Australia. Who knows? Maybe. That's going to be an interesting game. Make sure you catch that also. I don't want to really guess there. We've seen a lot. For number 4, 2 free throws awarded for Canada, but then Natalie Achonwa misses the 2 free throws for an unsportsmanlike foul. That was a dodge bullet there from the Australians. Wow, 2 missed free throws. That is tough. Natalie Achonwa, wow. Let's take a look at her numbers here. Natalie Achonwa, who took 2 in the game against France. That's big. Unfortunate for her. Unfortunate. Still 51-44. So Achonwa at least comes away with a defensive rebound here. And draws another foul. And Achonwa will have a chance again on the line. Well, you gotta make your free throws, kids. That is one of the best lessons I've learned here in the Olympics. Make your free throws. As Achonwa misses another one. Wow! 3 straight missed free throws here for Achonwa. 4 missed free throws. Whoa! Defensive rebound from Kayla George. Well, you know, if they lose by 4, talking about Canada, they're going to be looking at those 2 moments in the free throw line here from Natalie Achonwa. Hopefully, it doesn't go back. It doesn't go down to that. And but then the free throw numbers are not great. Not great for Team Canada. 11 of 19, 59%, 58% rather. 11 of 19 from the free throw line. You do a better job at the free throw line, you're in the lead. You're going to the line a lot. You're on the line 19 times and you only finish 11 of them. That is not good enough. I'm sure they are very much open to admitting that. Shea Colley, 2 of 6 from free throw line. Natalie Achonwa, 0 of 4. Oh my goodness. That has to change. And Sammy Whitcomb gets a 2-pointer to go for the first points of this 4th quarter. And, you know, as much as I'm criticizing the free throws, man, even the best miss them. The NBA, even the best miss them. My goodness. Wherever you go all over the world. It's just really unfortunate here that for the Canadians, it's not a good free throw shooting night for them. That is tough. That is really, really tough. Especially because they had a chance to go on a 4-0 start here. Yeah, might be the pressure. Sonic999 says that they succumb to the pressure, talking about Canada. Kayla George misses on the 2-point jumper. Aaliyah Edwards comes away with a rebound. They just need a field goal. Easy basket could help. Oh, but a bad pass. A turnover by Achonwa. Kayla George gets it. Oh, Canada. Now trailing by 9. Could get a lot worse. Need to settle themselves offensively for sure. But Canada, credit to them. They are taking advantage of the opportunities being handed to them. And as I say that, a turnover here from Australia. 24-second shot clock violation. We go the other way. Good defense from the Canadians. They need to score. Talking about Team Canada. Steven Events is hoping that Drake shows up for some energy. And a series of substitutions here coming for Team Canada. Kayla Alexander, Silas Soares, and Sammy Hill come back in. Achonwa, Colley, and Kia Nurse come out. And another turnover. Sammy Hill just checked in. Already a turnover there. Sammy Wilcombe comes away with a steal. And a foul from Sammy Hill. And 2 free throws here for Australia. This is a big fourth quarter here for the Australians. Sammy Whitcomb makes the first of 2 free throws. Yeah, you just gotta feel that Canada right now are having a bit of a hard time just getting the groove into things. Get into the groove of things here in quarter number 4. It's about who can execute under pressure, and Australia are looking like the team that are doing that much, much better here. Sammy Hill gives them a lifeline. Big 3 here for the Canadians. 55-47, still in favor of Australia, but that could get them going. Sandra Prosper getting the assist. Steph Talbot gets a 2 to go, making a 10-point game in favor of the Australians once more. And remember, guys, the point total is going to be important here because of the plus-minus. Because, yeah, that's going to be a big factor to consider, especially because the third-place teams, the best third-place teams, still have a chance to advance. So you got to keep the point spread down, even if you lose something. Yes, if Canada loses, they need this to be as small as possible, so they still have a chance to advance, just in case. But in Australia, doing the right things here. 10-point lead. And Alana Smith fouls Bridget Carleton. 5:50 left here. Still a lot of time. 10-point game. You've seen stranger things happen. Kayla Alexander matching the 2-pointer here for the Canadians. The lay-in from Alexander ups her total here in this one to 10. Second double-digit score here for the Canadians with 5 assists as well. But Kayla Jordan is back with a 2-point pull-up of her own. Still a 10-point lead here. Can Canada come in just a bit closer? And they still make a game out of this? That is a question here. As they're actually doing a good job every time they come in. They come in the paint. Kayla Alexander doing a good job, but as I mentioned, that offensive foul here from Alexander turns the ball over. Chance here for Australia. So Tess Magden drew the foul, and cue the timeout here for Team Canada. They need to sort things out here. 5:12 left here before 5:12 left here before the end of this one, end of regulation. Australia looking good value here with a +10 advantage on scores, but Canada are showing us that they can still catch up. Costo Bangolan is cheering hard for 13 more points at the end of this one. And Chester Villaruel is saying that I'm Filipino. Yes, I. That's not up for debate. It is very true. We gotta see here. Canadian fans, how worried are you? You gotta play near perfect basketball. Well, there's still a lot of room for error, but you still need to have a quiet last 5 minutes and 12 seconds here in the fourth quarter to overturn Australia, or at least make this close. Because again, point totals, the plus minus could be a big factor here. Canada were blown out in their first game against France, and Australia are not happy with the point total as well against Nigeria, so they need to make this as as possible to about Australia, just to increase their chances, just in case things don't go their way in the last game. Again, because Australia lost to France, that means our next opponent's lost to Nigeria. The next opponents will be France. That'll make things really difficult. As Kayla George, big triple off the timeout. Sammy Whitcomb with assist, 62-49. Woo-wee. Big bucket there for the Australians. How do Canada answer?
Yeah. Yo, sometimes you have to let certain people know, you know. Can't mix up in that.
And a turnover again from Aaliyah Edwards. Back-to-back turnovers for the Canadians. Back-to-back possessions with turnover. Kayla Alexander with an offensive foul a while ago, and a turnover here for Aaliyah Edwards. Taking care of the ball, a problem. That is huge. Kind of just having a hard time. They're just dribbling their way into all of these problems, just passing the ball wildly, and the turnovers just piling up here. You know, trying to get the motion going for Team Canada, but just Australia's just doing a good job defensively. Alana Smith comes up with a steal, but missed a three-point J. Ron Peralta saying Canada's in panic mode. But Bridget Carleton eases the nerves just a bit. 9-point lead still. 11-point lead, rather. That was a tough shot, by the way. I just got a chance to see the stream. Couple changes here. Kian Nurse comes back in. Mariana Tolo and Jade Melbourne come back in here for the Australians. Talbot checks out after a good contribution for her. So also Alana Smith. Oh, but Shea Colley makes it a single-digit game again. 2-pointer for the Canadians. Is Ezzy going to go back in? I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Ezzy will be able to come back in. Not quite sure. And Big Tank TV 56, loving the music. And Bridget Carleton. Oh, Canada. The Canadians are back in this. And cue the timeout from Australia, 62-55. How's everyone feeling? 246, 7-point game, still very doable. Because they have been forcing the misses. Canada have been coming up big here. My stream's catching up to this. I'm going to see exactly what happened. Great defensive stop. One-on-one defense was just good there. Then the lane came, or rather jumper came off a tough bump near the free throw line. Canada all smiles right now. They feel like they got a chance to come back. And cue the timeout. Cosco Bangolan saying that he's still feeling good. If I'm not mistaken, he needs a team. I think Costco needs a team to Australia to finish above 71, I believe. I don't know if he's actually feeling terrible, but saying that he's feeling good to attract the good vibes. Good luck, my friend. And for everyone else watching, let us know how you're feeling, guys. Let us know how you're feeling. Because it's getting good. Especially if Canada continue their little rally here. Canada have now scored 6 unanswered. Ian Acedo is asking for a win in every quarter. for the Australians, I'm assuming. And right now it's only +2 here for the Australians. Maybe +4 because Mariana Tolo gets a bucket to go. Important there. And and one opportunity. 64-55 to count. Chance to make it a 10-point lead once again. Well, let's see. Let's see if they can do something here. Talking about the Canadians, things getting just a bit difficult. And a turnover coming from Sammy Whitcomb. An offensive foul. That's the break that Canadians need. And people in the chat there showing their colors of who they bet on. See, Bong Geronimo Santa Maria says that he's got some on Australians, so he needs them to get it. They're looking on good value though. Talking about Australia, unless something amazing happens. A turnover answered by another turnover. And Mariana Tolo gets a basket to make a 12-point lead. Cue the timeout for the Canadians. That 6-0 rally of Canada answered back by a 5-0 rally for Australia. That might do it. That might do it here. But how close can Canada get? By the way, they need to keep on going. Talking about the Canadians. And right now, Canada need a bit more time to sort things out. How are you guys feeling? I mean, like, the game might be over as a contest, but Tolo, whoa, what a big plays from Tolo, by the way. That drive from Steph Talbot and the finish from Tolo in the inside. Woo! How good? How good is that? Well, the timeout almost done here from Canada, and I'm sure they have a lot to talk about. Ron Peralta already lost hope, but Tia Nurse giving them hope again. And we'll have a bonus free throw to go, making it a potential 9-point game. Tia Nurse can get the free throw. The free throw's a problem. Hey, Steven Events, I appreciate you too. Thank you very much for joining us here and being with us. As Tia Nurse makes a free throw, important one. That's a 9-point advantage here. What answer does Australia have? Can they shut the door even further? Or will Canada come a bit closer? A bit closer here. Oh, and Tolo draws a foul. And 2 free throws here from Tolo. Tolo has been taking over here. Just right place, right time. Now Tolo needs to make the 2 free throws. Or might not be free throws yet. 67-58 with a minute 15 left here in the fourth quarter. Canada trying to find a way to slow things down, slow time down, and get more baskets. Question still stands here. A bit of discussion here between the Australian team and the officials, then the coaching staff, making sure everything's all sorted out. Yeah, minute 15 left here. As there's actually a review. That's the reason why it's taking a while. Checking out the review there off the screen. I think they're looking at something a bit more than a regular foul. And just watching the replay there, it feels like it's a big size difference. Kia Nurse just running into Tolo. As Tolo offered the screen, but did she flop? That's what you're asking for a Canadian fan. Referee's having a nice chat here. So it was challenged actually here by the Australian national team, I believe, for something more. And it's just a regular foul. The side out here. And it's just a foul drawn. So that's the reason why it took so long. And Canada are going to be hoping that will allow them to really get back into this. But Sammy Whitcomb gets a 2-pointer to go, make an 11-point lead again. And end one here. Sammy Whitcomb draws the foul. Sammy Whitcomb's been everywhere. Really, everywhere. And you can see what that meant to her. That driving lay-in was just so tough. What a finish. Bosco Bangolan asking for just 2 more points for the Australians. And Kia Nurse will now have a chance to get 2. Making a 10-point lead again, hopefully, for the Canadians. Looking to get 2 in. And Sammy Whitcomb will check out here for Tess Madigan. Sammy Whitcomb, who has 5 fouls, so she's out of the ball game. 10 assists, 19 points. 19. Wow. Fair credit to her. Kia Nurse makes it 2 free throws. 10-point ball game. Well, Australia look like they're going to take the win. Canada need to make this a bit closer just for their point differential, because that matters in the computations here in terms of standings, to see if you can still sneak in the quarterfinal. Again, will be a bit tough. Last opponent will be a Nigeria team who is really just good at really causing upsets, as we've seen in the past already. And Kia Nurse draws a foul and gets a turnover, 70-60. Important possession here for the Canadians. As Kia Nurse draws a 3-point foul, will shoot 3 free throws here. Woo! Chance here for Canada to come within 7. Just seeing how that happened again. So 3 free throws. I'm not sure if it's 3 free throws or just 2. Just looking at the replay there, I think they're gonna check it. And that's a big call. Yeah, I believe they are checking it. Just 2 free throws, so it'll just be 2 free throws. So chance here for Kia Nurse. He raised the first of 2. Makes 2, so right now it's just an 8-point game. 29 seconds left. A stop here, you get a bit closer. Stop or a turnover. Turnovers have not been in front of Australia. Another turnover by Jade Melbourne. And a miss from Kia Nurse. Gets an offensive rebound. Oh my goodness. Can they get another basket before time expires? How about the Canadians? And a miss lay-in. Oh, what a block from Steph Talbot. What an ending we're having here. But that might do it. What a sequence there. Wow. Well, it looks like the live stats haven't caught up with the action I'm watching here, but based on what we're seeing here so far, oh my goodness, I have no idea how the final 7 seconds are ending. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna double check what's happening here. Oh, but Bridget Carleton makes a 3-pointer at the buzzer to make it just a 5-point loss for the Canadians. Wow! What an ending! And I say that because, again, the point tally matters. This just goes to show you gotta play to the very end. Canada take the final quarter 21-19. And Bridget Carleton, what a basket at the end. Courtesy of the pass of Kia Nurse. And I'm sure right now our live chat is having a meltdown. Wow. Our live chat is having a bit of a meltdown here because a lot of people thought that they already have gotten the result that they needed. But either way, for Canada, despite it being a loss, they got as close as possible. They're going to see if they can pull off something special in their last game, while Team Australia needed the win just to make sure they have a more direct route going to the quarterfinals. Big wins for Australia. An okay-ish result here for the Canadians, considering the spread, despite the loss that they had, considering the point differentials. Bring out the calculators, guys, because that's how they're going to decide it. They're going to try and come up with another upset going into their last game against Nigeria. I don't even know who's the underdog there. Whoever gets a win there, it could be a big factor on who goes into quarterfinals. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us here in the Paris 2024 Olympics Women Basketball Tournament chat party on the FIBA YouTube page. Again, really appreciate you guys joining me. I'm Paulo Del Rosario. You can follow me on X at Paulo Del Rosario and on Instagram at Paulo Del Rosario. We hope to see you for the next games that we're having. Chat parties will be on for all the games. Some of them have hosts, some of them don't. But if there is a host, go say hi, join us, make a fun conversation with everyone. And if you haven't yet, join and subscribe right below here on this YouTube, the basketball channel page. We really appreciate you guys, and we cannot wait to have you for the next games. We'll see you then.